Greetings. Welcome to day 59. This is Chase Life. I'm Chase. We're completing our 2025 through hike. And we're down to only a few days left. 2 days after today. So we just finished camping at this spot. It's a great spot. Shelton Graves. I mean, you could probably fit 20, 30 tents here. Great easy bear hangs. Everything about it was awesome. So yeah, today we did push to get to Shelton Graves yesterday. It was almost another 4,000 foot elevation climb day, which I'm pretty proud of, by the way. And today we're going to go to something Pond Road, but there's a Southern Cookie Lady down there, and then a little further there's another hostel. So that's the plan. Should be about a 14-mile day. Not too long, but a lot easier climb. Only, I think, 1,700 feet of climb. So we'll see how it goes. Last night, weather came in. We got lucky. It came in right after we got our tent set up, so we just stayed in our tent. And it's blue skies this morning. Pretty chilly. It's like 57. Got down to about 52 last night. Not too bad. All right, so the name of the hostel is Hemlock Hollow Hostel off Log Cabin Road. So that's the destination today. We originally weren't going to do a hostel. We were going to stop at the Laurel Shelter, and but the hostel sounds nice, and be able to. Everything's a little damp because it rained last night. I mean, nothing got wet other than my tent, but you know, just everything's damp on the inside. So it'd be nice to dry things out, take a shower, recharge electronics, you know. So being at the Shelton Graves last night was interesting. You know, you see a lot on the trail, and it really kind of points out to me that a lot about hiking the AT is not just this trail in the forest. It's all the other history that you see and all the other little interesting things you do. Just kind of thinking about, you know, my whole time on the AT. I'm down to 29 miles to go. But, you know, I've learned a lot. It's been educational. You know, the stuff about the Civil War and what happened back then, and then also about the Revolutionary War. Yeah, it's been, and then all the towns. I mean, I've learned so much about the different towns we visited. It's really been quite a cool experience. You know, I am finding myself, especially today, thinking more and more about this being the end of my hike. So yeah, I'll probably post a video. No, I will post a video after I'm done with some thoughts, so I'll save those, but I'm just kind of like cogitating, you know, ruminating on things. By the way, again, I did 2 4,000 foot climb days in a row. And it's crazy to me because I remember when I started training for this thing a couple years ago and doing a 5-mile, 750 foot hike and dying. And that was only carrying like 12 pounds on my back. And now I did a full pack with up to 2.5 liters of water and did 4,000 feet. And I think around 14 or 15 miles. I think it may be more. So, yeah, I mean, that's, I was fine. I could have kept going, you know. So it's weird, you know, but I'm proud of that at my age of 67, you know, that I could do that. So yeah, my body's held up remarkably well on this trail. Got no complaints. Got, you know, a small bone bruise on my foot, but it's actually better, and I think it's going away. So got nothing else. I mean, my knees are good. Everything's good. Yeah, no blisters. Hardly had any blisters in this entire trail. I think, my Injinji toe socks and the other socks that cover them. But, you know, who knows? I may have just cool feet. I don't know. So, yeah. The one thing that's kind of interesting right now is I got like 29, 28 maybe miles to go, and none of them are hard. So that's weird, right? I've got no more big ups. Nothing. Little ups and downs, and then mainly just downs. I'm gonna be, you walk downhill into hot springs. That's weird. It's weird to think I'm, you know, and it's freaking awesome. I'm stoked. I really am. I don't know if it shows on my face because me, but man, woo! These last 3 days. So I am trying to stay in the moment, you know, and friggin' appreciate this. Wow. Well, I pretty much didn't expect this. I'm coming down. There's just been a lot of rock scrambles. And then we come down here. And then we're going to go up there. The biggest problem is these rocks are damp, covered in moss, and there's not many flat surfaces to step on. So it's kind of sketchy. You know, it is what it is. It is the trail. But I didn't expect this. That's kind of interesting. So surprisingly, the long, almost a meadow, but it's really like a tunnel through blackberry brambles. And we've been on it for quite a while. And I didn't know if it would keep going, but right now it just keeps going. So it's interesting. It's an easy walk. The grass is really wet, so my shoes are soaking. But, you know, it's not a big deal. Finally out of the blackberry tunnel. Looks like we're going down a hill. Up on Big Firescape Ridge. So first we come through this, which makes me glad I don't have a long sleeping pad on the bottom of my pack, because I don't think I would fit. Then we come down here. We gotta climb up that craziness. There's a blaze up there. Wow. All right, we got up that. But, you know, what's funny is that I really thought this would be the easy hike of the time, you know. And it's not been that easy. Another one. Woo! All right, we're here at Howard's Rock. In memory of Howard McDonald. Wow, this is pretty epic. We're here at Howard's Rock, looking at the views. This is looking towards Tennessee. I haven't done this in a while. Basically, kind of half jogging down the trail. I've been doing this for about 15 minutes. So, reason is because it's getting late. I was trying to get a room at Hemlock Hostel tonight, and unlike the other hostels and everything else I've done on this trail, I didn't call and prearrange it and make sure they knew they were coming. So, I knew I had to call at some point. And it became apparent that as I was going downhill here, I was going to lose cell service. So, and I didn't know what I would do if I walked all the way down there and they weren't open for whatever reason. So I stopped at the last shelter, Laurel Ridge, I think, that in case, it didn't work out, I'll just stop there, which is my original plan anyways, before I decided to just switch to Hemlock. But there was no answer to the phone, and then I didn't know what to do. So I figured I'd wait at the shelter, I think like 45 minutes. And if they didn't call back or I couldn't get through, then I would just put a tent down there at the shelter area. And, but the negative was in order to not be totally bored, I was watching stuff on my phone and like, oh shoot, I am using up my battery, which if I'm not going to Hemlock, I need for the next 2 days. Because one of the advantages of going to Hemlock was to be able to recharge my electronics. So, right about the time I was ready to call it and just start putting up my tent, I did get a call back. She was out of service area, out driving around, so that's why she couldn't answer her phone. And so I'm now hustling down to Hemlock, which apparently means you first go to the cookie lady, and the cookie lady will call her to come pick me up at the cookie lady's. What I do tomorrow is still up in the air. She could just drive me back to the cookie lady's, and I will work my way down. Or, I don't know. I mean, I had this thought about actually going all the way down and doing a slack pack and having them drop me off at Hurricane Gap. But she did tell me that they don't do Hurricane Gap because the roads are too rough. So, Hurricane Gap is kind of close to where I gotta be day after tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, day after tomorrow. So, day 61. So, day 60's got to put me close to Hurricane Gap. My original goal was a shelter. That's about, 3 miles up from that or something, north of that. We'll see. We're approaching Log Cabin Drive.